Awesome.
Now they're all
We just started.
I know. You guys awake now? Okay. So we learned about leadership, work
Way
ethic.
to leave me hanging. Some tea.
It takes a while to follow Steph. I know it's scary. Okay. So now we learned about leadership. We learned about work ethic. I'm going to ask you to break out into your small groups. As you're walking to your small groups, think who your top 3 leaders are. Could be here at church, in their international church, in, where else? International church? Yeah, wouldn't that be right? Universal church?
Yeah.
Need more coffee. In your family, in a classroom, anywhere. Think of your 3 main leaders. And when you sit down in your small group, share your top leader and say why and what makes them a good leader. Okay? Go on and break out into your small groups.
All right.
Hi, I'm Karen Schmidt, Dr. Karen Schmidt, and I teach at the University of New Mexico. I teach communication classes, and especially I teach professional communication and small group communication, which is also thought of as team communication. And I'm grateful to have an opportunity to talk about leadership because leadership is so important to me. And I think about how it's been studied over the years and the thinking about it now. So there was a time in which we believed that leadership came only when you were born with it, that you are a born leader. And if you're not born with that ability, well, you're just out of luck. And so, of course, you come out and then some are marked leader and others not so much. But we've moved way beyond that. Now we recognize that if you want to be a leader, you can be a leader. It's a variety of skills, and if you work at them, you can do it. In addition to that, we used to think there's just one type of leadership, and that type of leadership was this. I tell you what to do, and you do it. And it might have been effective in some cases, but for the most part, people were not very happy. So we also recognize then that there are a lot of different ways to lead. So we have leaders who are all set sizes and shapes with all kinds of styles, and it works beautifully. So on to my congratulations, and that's what I want to do. I want to congratulate all of you for accepting the wonderful role of leader. And I know it's something that you will be very proud of and grow from. So as we know that oftentimes leadership comes with dedication and commitment, and when you demonstrate those things, rumor has it, it gets out there. And those are really good traits to be known for, to be dedicated and committed. And in addition to that then, sometimes you're going to be faced with some challenges. Challenges are good, they're like gifts, because all of life has challenges. When you face your challenges and you meet them head on, then we grow, others grow, and no longer are they challenges. So again, congratulations, I'm delighted for you, because leadership can be very, very rewarding, very fulfilling. And so, which leads me then to the idea. So Mario asked me to talk about leadership, and I thought, and I thought, and I thought some more, and then of course check Wikipedia. No, and I came up with, or at least it kept returning to me, this idea of how rewarding leadership is. And so I thought, well, that's what I'll talk about, because it keeps coming up, it's coming up. There must be a reason it keeps coming to mind. And so I want to think about all of the different ways in which leadership can be rewarding. And the one that comes to my mind first is the opportunity for self-discovery. You have this wonderful opportunity to be with other people and learn not only about other people, but also about yourself. You have this opportunity. And if you take the opportunity to pay attention, to be mindful of your own behavior, when you listen to yourself and you watch yourself in a sense, and then you listen to other people and their reaction to you, you pick up on their nonverbal feedback, you can learn so much. And then take that and examine it and think about this. What are my strengths and what are my weaknesses? Now, with strengths, good for you, because you can build on those strengths. Others may compliment you on a task that you've done or a particular behavior that you have. Think, wow, okay, that is a strength. I recognize that, I want to build on that because that can really help me in the future. It can help me now too, but also in the future. Also, the weaknesses. Oh my goodness, oftentimes we don't want to see our weaknesses. Usually we are aware of our weaknesses before we come into this situation, but sometimes denial is everything. But denial doesn't get you anywhere. If you are aware of, and it comes out again, these particular weaknesses, it's up to you to grab them and take hold of them, confront them, and do something about them. Because let's face it, will they go away on their own? That is, no, they will not go away. And in fact, oftentimes our weaknesses just grow and grow and grow. And then that just holds us back. It holds us back from the good deeds we could do, the things that we could help with in terms of our community, in terms of others. So weaknesses then, watch for them, make a plan. And for example, one of the assignments that I have for my students in my small group class is that after they spend weeks together in a small group working on a project, they write a paper. And in this paper, they're supposed to write about things that they observed, and in terms of their strengths and their weaknesses. Many of them have wonderful strengths. It's easy to write about your strengths. Then it's the weaknesses. And while there are a variety of them that come up, the number one weakness is this: procrastination. Time and time again. And if you were all here, I'd ask you to raise your hand, so you're pretty lucky that I won't be doing that. Because for the most part, I would say out of about 30 people, maybe a couple of them don't raise their hands, and then that's it. So we recognize that our procrastination has probably gotten us into some trouble in the past. We've not made an appointment, we started our papers too late, we missed a meeting at work, whatever it was, because we weren't focused and we weren't on time. We kept thinking, oh, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. There are a variety of reasons that we procrastinate as well, but overall, not a good thing. So if you think about that as a leader, you come into your situation as leader and you procrastinate. Now, your team members are going to say, oh, this is probably a good thing because that means I can procrastinate. And that's not the message you want to give. You need to set the stage. You be the role model. You show them that you get your work done on time, that it's done effectively, and they will follow. But certainly, if you're not doing that, they are not going to do that. So again, the weaknesses, approach them, treat them like they're humans. Grab them and say, okay, I'm going to straighten you out, and we're going to make a deal, and things are going to be so much better in the future. Because what are we going to do with our weaknesses? They just kind of gobble us up. So I invite you, be done with them. Solve them, make a plan. Alrighty, so back to this idea of self-discovery. We think about then all of the things that we can learn about ourselves. But the other thing is we can also learn so much about other people. And when we act as role models, we're doing a great deed. Because especially if you're an effective leader, you are exceptional, and then you can demonstrate those behaviors, and others then will follow. So when you are a leader, people tend to pay attention to you, they listen to you, they many times they try to emulate you. So your behaviors then are in a sense kind of contagious. So the other things you can do are to make connections with others. And the more connections you make, the more experiences you have personally and you have with them. And all of this leads to heightened confidence. Who couldn't use a little more confidence? So we have confidence, and through that confidence then within yourself, others see it and it grows. Then even people outside of your team see that confidence. And then they hold you even in more esteem. And so I think that's so important. And while you're doing this, you get to help other people learn, and you get to help other people grow, and through that process, you learn and you grow. That's a wonderful thing. Alrighty, so we also have the opportunity then to inspire other people, and we can do that through our good deeds. Oftentimes when I think of people who have done good things, said kind things, helped somebody who needed help, all of the wonderful positive things that people are capable of, I have this great visual. And I see a pond, and I see that great deed, that kindness, that helpfulness, and it's a golden little pebble, and it drops into the pond. And from there, these beautiful ripples come out, and they're light. They're made of light. And then each of those ripples leads to a bigger ripple that's even brighter. And from there, more and more and more, until the whole pond is beautiful. It's lit so beautifully. It's very bright. I invite you to take on that particular vision, because it helps us to think when we can see things, and it also then gives us a visualization of what our goodness can do, how that can spread to others. And in my mind, why are we here if we're not here to help other people? And so as we drop that little pebble in, and it goes out. And if you think about that, you walk by somebody and you can snarl at them, and trust me, they'll snarl right back. But if you smile at them, they will smile. And chances are the next person they encounter, they will smile at that person. And then everybody after that will probably, more likely than not, be smiling at each other. One little smile, one smile. So think about even a bigger deed. The more we do for others, the more others do for others as well. So keep that beautiful pond in mind. Oh, and it rather goes with my next topic, and that is this idea of synergy. There's this concept called synergy, and it has to do with the team that you create being greater than all of the parts in it, i.e. all of your team members. You have wonderful team members, they can do this and this and this and this on their own, but when you put all of those people together, you create and they create this situation that is far superior than any single person there could do. So I've watched groups who have reached this wonderful level of synergy, and so I see them, it's kind of, when I walk by them, they're kind of humming, not literally, but the energy is so high, and they are so in tune with each other. They're making progress, they're doing good work, they like each other, they're having a really good time. And having a good time in your group is really an important thing too. Okay, a very good example of synergy is found in music. So for example, if you have 5 instruments, all different instruments, each of those being played by a different person, and they sound beautiful on their own. And then you add in some vocals, let's say 1, 2, 3 vocals, they sound beautiful. But when you put it all together, all of those instruments and the voices in harmony, it is superb. It is just beyond anything that any individual there could do. And so also keep that in mind. It's a wonderful way to look at this synergy, creating this energy beyond what you could normally create without those fine people. So I do want to say this. I want you to remember, if nothing else, how very, very rewarding leadership can be. And it comes in all forms. Again, that idea of self-discovery. The more you know about yourself, the better. And all of the things, even the icky things you don't really want to look at, because those are the things that need to be approached and dealt with. They will not go away on their own. And so then you also have this wonderful opportunity to interact with other people. You get to observe them. You act as a role model for them. So of course you need to be on your best behavior. You need to demonstrate those wonderful talents and skills and behaviors that you know you can. So leadership then is not only learning about yourself, you learn about others, and then the group as a whole. Now my desire for you is to go even beyond that. And because I teach small group communication as well as a professional communication, I am fully aware of what is needed. You honestly don't have to teach that to know that young, good leaders are very, very needed in today's society. And people in the community, leaders in our community, leaders in business, they are looking for folks like you who have good leadership skills. So my advice is this: if you could please think about those skills, develop those skills, get better at them. And while they're useful now in your team right now, you can also take those out, improve on them, and as you get older, you go into the community, you go into the workplace, and chances are you're going to be very much wanted and admired. So I want to thank you so much for allowing me to speak to you today, and I'm so sorry I couldn't be there in person. But I wish the very, very best for all of you, and I think you'll probably do an activity after this, and hope to see you in one of my classes. Thank you so much.